Hey, how y'all doing? I just wanted to get this off my chest today. Um, it's about the presidential election. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. I couldn't say nothing yesterday because all up and down my timeline, y'all was mad. Ooh, y'all was mad. So I just waited. But I gotta get it off my chest. And number one is a lot of times we think people know things that they don't. We take for granted that they know, but they don't. I mean, simple as that. A lot of people just don't. And there's some things that they may understand and some things that they may not. So I'm just going to get this off my chest today about the presidential election. Number one, I want to let you know that your vote does count. Let's get that straight. Your vote does count. Number one, it counts because there's a such thing as called the popular vote. All right. And so there's a popular vote, which are people like us. And then there's a electoral voters, which are the people that are in the electoral college. Each state has its own number of people that are in the electoral college. And the electoral college is 538 people total. 538. That number is the number of people that we have as senators and the members of the House of Representatives for each state. All right. A president is not elected by the nation. Oh, how good it would be. But they're not. I'm going to break that down to you. What I mean by that is each state has its own state election. So you got the people that go out and vote as the popular vote. Your vote counts on the front end because the people in your electoral college of that state historically and right. Sorry, I was interrupted, but I'm not done. But what I was saying was your vote counts, number one, on the front end because the popular vote is the people in your electoral college of your state normally goes with the popular vote. Hardly ever would you find the electoral college of the state, the people in that college going against the popular vote, meaning that they will hardly ever vote for a candidate that the state doesn't want. And it shows because you're going out showing who you want. So that hasn't happened since 2000 when Al Gore and George Bush ran for president. Now, if we had went on the popular vote, it would have been Al Gore. But because of the electoral college votes is how the president is elected, then it became George Bush. All right. Well, let me tell you about that. If a candidate does not get the majority of the electoral votes, which means if neither candidate gets 270, then they are chosen on the popular vote. Then that's what lets you know that your vote is counted on the back end. It's relevant on the back end. So on the front end, you need to go out and vote. The people in your electoral college usually go with you. On the back end, if the candidate does not get the majority of the electoral votes, which is 270, then your vote counts again. All right, because they're now chosen by the popular vote. Well, in this case, I know a lot of you all are upset. A lot of you all are mad. A lot of you all are just distraught. I get it. I mean, this guy has no military experience. He has no government experience. He thinks in terms of reality TV. And he's running the most powerful thing in known, and that's the world. I get it. But what we all have to remember is, I mean, no matter what is said about him, I mean, he's vindictive. We know that. Okay, he's an egomaniac. Well, I get that. I get everything that you all saying. The Ku Klux Klan supported him. I get that. Also, this lets you know that somebody in the electoral college did not go with what the state wanted. So we're not to blame the people. Well, in this case, because the non-voters are not the problem here in this election. Because even though we got out and voted, the people in our electoral college went against what we wanted. That's why those people are upset. That's why those people are protesting. Because they know that in this state, all of us said we wanted this candidate, but then the people in the electoral college who normally and by right should go with what the people want, they did not. No matter what the other candidate was. And a lot of this was done because, out of hate, out of pure racism, believe it or not. And I don't care who says what, it was. Because if you support him, you support what he supports. And he supports racism. He has got up and said a lot of racist things. He has got up and said things about Muslims. He's got up and talked about women foully. And it's ridiculous. I get all of that. So, but he doesn't even have the integrity to pay people. He attacks people. He didn't even pay the people that did his campaign signs. Those are things that don't just take my word for it. Look it up for yourself. So, we know all of this. But in the end, I want to tell you, my people, and I don't mean my black people. I mean my working class people. I mean my people that are trying to get it, whether you're black, white, purple, green, orange, whatever color you are. God is our source. Okay? Let's not forget that. Let's not lose focus. Our jobs, whatever else we have that's coming in, those are resources. Those are things that God allows us to have. So if any of those things are taken away, the source is not gone. The source is still there. So if he provided those things, he can provide other things. So let's not forget that. As long as you don't lose focus on who's in control. Because we've had other people that were, other presidents that were in the White House that we didn't particularly relate to, that didn't relate to our issues and things of that nature. But it doesn't matter. Because regardless of what, you need to wake up every day thanking God that you're alive, number one. Secondly, you need to be interrupted again, but I got to get you this message. I'm sorry. I got to get you this message. You got to be a go-getter. You got to want to go get it. So don't lose focus on what's important, people. Okay, let's not get into all this ranting and raving about who did what and who didn't do what and who gonna do what and who not gonna do what. If you want change, change starts with you. Change starts with you, your community, number one. No, Trump didn't say anything about children, education, healthier lives, none of that. But if that's what you want, you have to be determined enough to go out there and get it for yourself. If you sitting around waiting on somebody to do something for you, then you got a problem. Then you sitting around and all you want to do is talk about the presidential election. What about your local elections? What about your mayor? What about the people that are representing you? What about those elections? What about your people sitting on your city council, your judges, your police chiefs, all of this? What about that? What about your children? Change starts with you. Let's not lose focus. Let's get back focused. Let's understand that what God has for us is for us. Trump and nobody else can take that away from us.